welcome to the session, to our day zero session on sharing and exchanging compute, new digital divisions. My name is Millennium Anthony. I am from Tanzania. I am the coordinator for the Youth IGF in Tanzania, and I'm also an ITU Generation Connect Youth Envoy. And today I'm going to be moderating this amazing session. So I have here with me joined the three speakers and the others who are going to be joining us soon. But before we move further in our discussion, I would like to just give a concept of whatever that we're going to be discussing for the next 1 hour. As we all know that we have all these, the new technologies like AI, all these, the robotics and all that. So, and then we also know that there's this one group that is able to access all these tools easy, but then considering countries like the global south countries, they're still having difficulties to get connected, to stay online, and this has been contributed by different factors. For example, the high cost of the internet bundles people can't access. Some other group, they can't access the tools. Let's say have access to computers or mobile phones and all that. So today we are going to have a discussion with my panelists here. We're going to explore different aspects on how we can ensure like people from the global south, but also this other larger group that is left can become online, despite that we have all these emerging technologies that are really coming up high, right? Yeah, so before I go in the discussion, I would like to welcome my speakers. So they're going to introduce themselves, and then I can ask them the questions, and then each one of them can respond. So I'll start with you, Noah.
Thank you, Millennium. Hi everyone. Morning. My name is Noha Abdelbaki. I'm from Egypt, and I'm an instructor in the PAYAG in the Arabic cohort. I'm an engineer by profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Atanas Baizira from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm a software engineer by profession, and I'm the coordinator for the Youth IGF in the DRC. And very happy to be here.
Hello. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Matilda Moses Mashauri from Tanzania. I'm also a Pan-African Youth Ambassador in Internet Governance. I'm a Binti Digitali Ambassador. And it's such a very amazing and a great chance to be here in this very productive and interactive session. Looking forward to collaboration in case of any questions, ideas, suggestions. We get to talk and discuss all this. It's a very informative session, and I can't wait to get into it. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Odu from Nigeria, Director East Web Technology. Sorry, I just walked in. We know we've been trying to just get ourselves together, but looking forward to this session. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Monojit. I am a researcher on internet governance. It's a pleasure to be here always. Thank you. Looking forward for the discussion.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to be asking questions to my speakers in no particular order. Like I'll just ask in any order, so just be ready like to contribute, yeah? And so I'm gonna start with, first we need to explore some of the challenges. So I'll start with you, Matilda. In your experience, what are the most significant invisible barriers that contribute to compete disparities in the region, especially that you're from the African region, and how do you see they're going to be addressed in the near future?
Thank you very much, Millennium, for a very insightful question. The challenges are so many. Especially the fact that I'm working very closely with the women and young girls in my country, and I can tell you, I did these projects not only in the city, but I did go deep. I did the projects in Kigoma, so I was able to see the challenges. I myself was affected. There's so many challenges in the young girls, and you can see the disparities are a lot. So if you tell me as a young girl, being born as a girl in Africa, in a rural area, that's a challenge already, you know? And then trying to engage that young girl into the digital world, that's also another challenge because we do not have those digital infrastructures. And I'm speaking facts from my country because I do this and I did this, you know? So the challenges are so many for young girls. And if you ask me about what we can do, Millennium, to what we can do to overcome the challenges or to there's so much we can do for a young girl. First of all, we do need this gender equity into like the proper gender equity into the digital literacy. Whatever the young boy can access should be exactly what also a young girl can access. Same. But then in Africa, for example, I'm telling you in Kigoma, I met a dropout kid, a 16 years old dropout kid with 2 babies. But then if you ask her routine when she was going to school, she has to wake up in the morning, do the home chores, and then go to classes, come back early, make lunch because she also has kids, go back to class again, come back again earlier, later evening, do the chores again, you know, the dinner, everything. But then what about the boy child? He wakes up in the morning, goes to school, comes back, goes to play games or football or whatever. So you can already see. So we need to treat the same exact opportunities and the chances that a young boy gets or that a boy gets should be exactly what I should get, what you should get, what a younger in Kigoma should get. But then in my country, to be honest, it's really difficult. The digital infrastructures is poor. You know, the digital infrastructures is poor. We do not have these digital infrastructures. Even if we go, we're gonna go to do with this. The session like this, the programs, you know, it's not even about teaching. It's about trying to engage them into this technical world. People they have amazing and confident works. People want to be like, they have vision, but then they do not know even how to dream about those dreams. Because how can they dream of something that they do not know? So they do not know what is technology. They do not even know what is digital literacy, digital world. I'm telling you, those people never saw even a smartphone in their lives. Then how am I supposed to teach that young girl that, you know what, you can be a software developer, you can be or a graphic designer, you can be a whatever, an engineer. So there's so many things there's so many things we have to do. For Tanzania, there's so much that we have to do. So much. From the government level, from the school, from the curriculum itself. There's so many cultures we have to unlearn. We have these cultures that affect us young girls from different. I'm also coming from a lake zone tribe, so I understand. But thanks to, you know, for me it's different now because at least my parents, at least I was able to go to good schools. At least I was able to live in the city. So for me, you can't tell much. But then what about that person who cannot go to those good schools? What about that person whose parents cannot even afford to take them to good schools? You know, so it's very complicated, Milena, but we are trying. We're heading there. So thank you very much, and I really love whatever involves young girls and women. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Matilda. That was impressive for me, especially that you talked about gender inequality in terms of accessing all these resources when it comes to like young women and like young boys. So there's that inequality that currently exists. And picking up from the same discussion, I'll come to you, Noah. Now we have talked about all this marginalized group. How do you think we can ensure that the marginalized communities have access in shaping the voices of like policies and solutions to reduce these disparities?
Yeah, thank you, Millennium. So I guess that everyone needs to have a say in drafting these policies because we need to attract investors to invest in our like countries. Africa and the Middle East are very central in the world, but we like big tech companies are not heavily investing in this area at all. We don't have like big data centers in our region. That would like provide many computation resources and enough computation resources for us to use the technology and also design technology that is suitable for us as Africans, as Middle Easterns, as people from the global south. But we don't have enough resources to do this. So when drafting the policies, we need to like ensure having like, of course, first it needs to be we need to adopt a multi-stakeholder approach, invite everyone to the table to have a say in this, in drafting the frameworks. We need to ensure having like proper infrastructure to support like technology that is growing each and every day, because for example, in Egypt, we still don't have the LTE or 5G network. We just got the license. I'm sure it's the same situation most for the African countries. So we need to have the proper infrastructure to support the tech that we are using and that is growing each and every day. We are in the age of data and AI, so we need to support this. Also, I'm calling all the governments to draft the policies to support the data exchange between the countries, and also the data protection laws, because this will attract tech companies, cloud service providers, internet service providers to invest in in our countries, and this like will affect our GDP in a positive way, and will also attract other investors, and we will retain the talent in our countries instead, because we are losing our talents. They are leaving our countries. They're looking for jobs elsewhere, including women. It's not only the male talents we're losing. So I hope we can create a better future by having the proper data frameworks and policies to support our future of computation.
All right, thank you so much, Noah. So investing and allowing proper policies on the cross-border data transfer. So we have the marginalized group, Atanas. So we have been discussing about digital literacy and all that, especially that you come from PIAG, where we impact the community with the internet governance knowledge. What will be your contribution on how we can incorporate digital literacy into formal and informal education, so that we may ensure that we have a sustainable benefits for like everyone?
Thank you so much. Very good question. And just that you mentioned, it's very important to really rethink the way we see digital literacy, not only in the formal way, like the normal curriculum when it comes to high school, university, and postgraduate, but it's also in the informal way, how we can build capacity of the people who are already on ground. Sometimes we talk about marginalized communities. They are not only the youth, they are not only in rural areas. Sometimes they are also the old generations that they are already in business for years, but then digital technologies are coming to interfere with the way they deal with business, and now they are very marginalized. They are even when it comes to cyber security questions, they are really very easy to get in this sense. So we also need to rethink literacy in a sense that we do not only reach the people who are at school, but also the people who are already working, so that we give them enough capacity to navigate the digital world very well. So one of the things we are doing, like PIAC, is an initiative that came out of Africans to build capacity of African people around internet governance. And what is interesting about this program is that the language barrier is something in all the regions. We have a lot of languages, but then most of the technologies, they come with predestinations of languages they come with, and also discussions around those technologies also will be around, most of them happening in English, the IGF, one of the good cases. So what we did with PIAG is train people in languages that are very close to them, so they will understand very well the stakes of the digital space. They will understand the stakes of internet governance in languages that are very close to them. So we are doing trainings in 5 languages, which include Arabic, Portuguese, French, English, and Swahili. So what is original in this program is now we have uh, African languages that are incorporated in this digital literacy uh, initiative. And people, from the feedback we are getting, you see that after the training, the people who have been trained are ready to enter the ecosystem. They're already doing great. If the entrepreneurs you see now, they're leveraging on the digital technologies because they are more aware of the opportunities that are around. So I think it's very important to start investing in digital literacy. We don't have to wait for when everything will be all right, because it takes time to make sure everything is aligned. But we start from where we are. Even on your personal capacity, you can start by making sure you preach the gospel of the literacy of the digital space around you. Make sure when you are with people, some of us have knowledge about some of these cases we are having. Like you can use smartphones, you can use now AI, you can use quantum technologies are coming, and they will not wait for when we are ready for them to develop. So they are already developing. So we need to start from where we are, starting to balance between our other priorities that are different from regions to region, but also getting into the space, taking enough knowledge so that we can keep the pace and go towards the digital future that we all want. Back to you, Millennium. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adanas. That was very. I liked the multilingualism part, especially considering countries like, let's say, countries like my country, like Tanzania. We have 121 languages. So you can imagine we have some communities. Our national language is Swahili, but then we have these other groups that don't even speak Swahili. So you can imagine we have like all these new technologies like AI. Then we want to teach, let's say, in English. People don't even understand our own national language. How can you teach in English? So it's really important when we're doing all this digital literacy thing, the trainings, we do it in the language that our people understand so that we can bring everyone on board. So that's how we ensure that nobody is left behind. So I'll come to you, Dr. Monajit. So we have talked about all these AI, the quantum computing. They're really transforming the world, and I really like it. But then we have these developing countries, like our countries, like the global south countries, that we're still not to the point that we are benefiting from all these technologies enough. So, what do you see? How do you see we can ensure that all these innovations, like the AI, these all new technologies, are being what do you say? Like, are helping or are succeeding in all these developing countries? How can we ensure that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Technological disadvantage. You rely too much, considering that it is on. Okay, thank you, Milena, so much. But firstly, I'd like to congratulate or thank the first speaker. I'm sorry about your name. But you see the change that you have brought. If you see in front, you'll see a lot of women participants or representative. Probably this is the hard effort that you guys have been doing for the past few years. You see the representation; they're mostly equally in number, or women to be more. Our moderator also has been a gracious lady who is leading the spearheading. So continuing to the fact that the point which you have highlighted, and my next female speaker, that on technological sharing, I come from India, and we are certainly one of the leading countries in terms of technology. If you see the digital payments and such the few initiatives that I'll tell you a little about, just a background, that I was previously into academia. I was a student. I did my PhD in internet governance. Then I switched to media, and now I am in a very prestigious think tank of the government of India. Our main motto is that to flourish or ensure that the language is never a barrier, which again is a very key point highlighted by my panelists. So we have developed, the government of India at large has developed a translation mechanism or a tool called Anuvadini AI that ensures that we are outreaching the knowledge that we have into all 22 official languages of the country. So alongside this, what we have tried to ensure, and I'm just giving you this fact because what I wish here is that let this be an opportunity for collaboration. You are particularly, you all here present here, also in the audience, you form a, not just for today but in future also, you'll be a power that represents the country in any society, whether it is academia or such, so that from here when we go back we can explore possible collaboration. Now that I'm part of a government of India's think tank, if at all I don't represent, in government capacity, but I'm sure the people of India and the government at large will be definitely very happy, to share this knowledge. Now you see, recently what the government has done is ensuring buying or taking the subscription of all leading journals that are available globally and making it a repository, so that all the students from far-flung areas and also from the middle who cannot get access by paying in their capacity can get access to that repository, so that they can have access to the knowledge, which is our kind of a fundamental right, that I can say. So this sort of, I am very much sure that collaborating with African Union and also African at large or other countries, like my colleague is from Middle East or representing the voice of Middle East, I can say. So we can definitely collaborate on the, because this session at large, we talk sharing and exchanging compute. So we can always focus on these areas that we can, AI, whether it is AI, whether it is sharing of the resources, I think we can certainly collaborate. And India being a rich power on this, in this aspect at least, we can explore collaborations. And I don't see there is any hindrance to it, geopolitically, whatever the concepts may are. But, ideas and innovations like this always are welcomed across the globe. So with this, I hand it over to Millennium once again, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. You have spoken about collaboration in terms of the government and stuff. Now I want to come to you, Chris. Like Dr. Monajit has spoke about the importance of collaboration. Now we have, let's say, considering we have different stakeholders, let's say in the internet governance space, we have the governments, we have the technical communities, we have the civil societies. So how can we ensure, like this multi-stakeholder, we have, let's say, all this, the government and all that, the relationship between them is equitable or is like good, so that we may ensure we're driving change in all these like developing countries or just the world at large? Like how can we ensure a good collaboration between the multi-stakeholders?
Okay, so can you hear me now? Okay, thank you very much. So good morning once again. Thank you very much for the question. And before I just go ahead, I think I would like to appreciate this balancing, gender balancing. I think it's territory. So we're good. Good. So you talked about collaboration, and Doctor here, first of all, kicked off the pace. The first thing we need to do first is you need to identify: do we have have we accepted we have a problem? That's the first thing. For instance, you cannot just, even if a doctor is trying to treat you, the patient must first agree that he or she is sick before he can actually receive treatment. So first of all, one of the things we are actually having, the issues we have, is that we think we know we have a problem. We know that we have a problem, but have we, all of us, all the various stakeholders, have we accepted and agreed that we need to solve that problem? Because for me to be able to work with you, we must actually agree. Both of us must actually agree to work together. And one of the key things I see, or I feel, because I'm going to speak in. Is this better?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You can? I can't. Sorry. Yeah.
Please, let's try to fix this, because my moderator is not hearing me, so I need her to hear me. Okay.
His voice is already loud.
Okay.
You can hear me now better. Okay, so I think sometimes technology just fails us, but we're good. We're good now. So for me to be able to work with you, first of all, we must agree on something. There must be a mutual benefit between both of us. And the truth is, the government can't do it all alone. We need partnerships. But the thing is, the government first must lay the foundation. And what's the foundation? A good policy. Good. You cannot have a poor policy and you expect a private sector to come in and do any collaboration with you. It's not going to work, because, for instance, if I'm coming from the private sector, I need benefit. I want to know what's in for me. That's the thing. What's in for me? So you need to have favorable policies for us to be able to work together in harmony. And I would just like to touch on something which is very key for me, which is capacity building. I think we're actually lacking a lot in capacity building. And when I'm speaking from my own primary constituency, which is Africa. You understand? We do have a lot of issues when it comes to capacity building. I'll give you an instance. We're talking about digital literacy, digital technologies. I'll use blockchain as an example. Okay, we're in a time where blockchain is actually a thing. You go everywhere, you hear blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. But if you go back to Africa, a lot of people still do not understand what blockchain is. You get, so it's something. Well, for instance, but technology is supposed to, we're supposed to be speaking, when you're talking about technology, we're supposed to be speaking the same language. If I come here, even if you're speaking Arabic, I'm speaking English, but we're here to speak technology, so we should be able to communicate on something, and we should be able to um, speak on something must connect us. And what's that connection? Technology. So we need to actually build our capacity wherever you're coming from. We must be able to speak the same language, which is technology. And that's why I said it's good. We now use this platform and go back to our various regions and ask that, how can I be a change? The change must start with each and every one of us. What am I going to do? Am I going to mentor? Am I going to mentor? Am I going to teach? Am I going to guide? Well, how do I play my own part? Because as a stakeholder, all of us have a role to play. The government, the private sector, the business people, everybody has a role to play. So we shouldn't just go back and say, oh, we leave it for the government, oh, we leave it for this sector. No. Each and every one of us, once we leave this place, we should go with a mindset of, what's that little thing I can do and contribute to my own constituency? How am I going to contribute and give my own quota? For instance, I do a lot of mentoring. I do a lot of mentoring on digital literacy. Okay, trying to see how, because most times when we speak, we're just speaking to those in the urban areas. How about the rural areas? That's those at the bottom of the ladder. How are we going to bring them into these conversations? We're talking about technology, 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 but someone in a rural village, a remote village, does not really understand this technology. How can we bring them on board? So that's actually part of collaboration. How can we collaborate and make sure that this group of people are not left behind? So my take is, we should always champion change wherever we go. We should be the contributors too. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Chris. I was about to chip in a question when you were speaking, but then in the end, you ended up answering it. Yeah.
So now you agree with me when I said my moderator must hear me.
Okay, so now I think I want to move the direction to the floor. Now I want, if you guys you want to share something, especially in your specific countries, something that you have seen, the challenges that you have seen, or if it's something that you have seen that is working in your country in terms of like bridging this whole digital divide. So I want to open the floor if you want to share something like that. Yeah, I'll start with you, Keja.
Hello, I hope
Yeah.
I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Osei Keja from Ghana. A lot has been shared, and thanks you for the insightful conversation. But my concern is that I ask, who are we benchmarking? We are talking about sharing and exchanging compute, new digital divisions. Every now and then, I know people are from Africa, Middle East, Europe, Americas. There are new challenges which are evolving every now and then. But who are we benchmarking? What way are we trying to develop digital literacy? These are the questions, the nuances we should look at. So Chris also did talk about mentoring, which is very, very good. But one thing I have noticed in our countries, specific countries, is that it has become too robotic and mechanistic that it stifles innovation. So if I'm imparting young people in terms of mentorship, go my way, go this way, so it's no ground for innovation, birth my way. But we need to move from that area and see it as a wrestle and a dance where there is information sharing, where we can continually innovate. And one last thing is continuous learning. In this whole bridging the divide, trying to introduce computation and all, there must be continuous learning. And in this continuous learning, we talk about multi-stakeholder approach, which is very good. By government hold a balance of power, are they ready to judge with the people, private sector, and civil society? Our size brevity. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Keja. Is there? Yes, please.
I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
My name is Kendi Kosa. I'm from Mozambique. Um, I have some ideas here about the infrastructure development. Since we've been facing challenges in building resilient and accessible broadband infrastructure in underserved and rural communities, as Matilda mentioned. Um, to address these issues through public-private and partnerships and innovation solutions, I brought here some ideas about infrastructure for telecommunications. I believe that a effective approach to ensure that these areas without broadband infrastructure can connect to through the infrastructure sharing model, which is a strategy that involves cooperation among different telecommunications operators to use the same infrastructure such as towers, cables, and fiber optic networks. I believe that for that, we must approach something for Africa, which is the cost reductions for the internet. We have also accelerate the access for it and minimize of environment impact. Plus, we have an improvement for service quality. Also, for the implementation of these ideas, I think about a favorable regulation, which is necessary to have a regulatory framework and that encourages infrastructure sharing. That will be clear to guidelines to protect competition and consumer rights. We also need a partnership agreements, the government involvement in this for the infrastructure part, and plus a innovative business models. I believe in that. So, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I really like the discussion that is going on here. Especially, okay, I'll come back to you one time. And especially, um, I liked the telecommunication. I think for my country, I think I'll say the telecommunication companies, they haven't like been a very good collaboration between like the telecom companies. At least every telecom company is trying like they're competing, you know. So there is no what do you say, cooperative effort that is done to ensure like, okay, our goal is just one. All of us want to bridge this divide. We want to provide service to our people, but then it's just like it's that like rival who will reach there first. But then if we do it all together, I think we'll reach far. And wait, I yes, welcome.
Okay, all right, thank you. My name is Selby Abraham Fifi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, um, listening some of the conversations that go on, I will focus more on the literacy aspect and capacity aspect on that. Chris was mentioned that at least we have to do some capacity literacy models aspect, but I have two questions in this one. What actions are we taking, and which categories can we sort it out? The reason why I'm saying is that sometimes, let's say, the people in this room may understand the concept of internet governance. So when we discuss about emerging technologies, advancing technology. He was mentioned blockchain and other stuff, right? It's a conversation on different categories. But when we come to the lower aspects of the category we're going to look about digital literacy, that's where we see the gap, because people can come and discuss about AI, digital infrastructure, emerging technologies, blockchain, but most of those people who are listening to that conversation, some people don't even understand basic computer literacy, how to even operate basic tools within the IT aspect. So come to think of the AI. So what I want us to do is that in terms of conversation among youth, we can close the gap by categorizing and prioritizing where we need to focus on. So there might be a group that we can group them, okay, people who have advanced the stage of using basic technology tools. This conversation, we can focus on them. Then we, the youth, can start developing models that is tailored to digital literacy training, how to even use basic things, because even some people don't even know how to use Zoom. So how, if we are having a conversation on closing digital gaps, digital AIs and other stuff, how can they even connect to do that? So we need to start by prioritizing the categories of people that we are dealing with and make sure that we try to put needs. And the people in the room, let me take the panelists as we cannot bring you to start learning how to use computer too because you are advanced on that. So that conversation will go on. So whilst we are going, we should also look down to the people that we have below so that we can train them in basic things. So whilst we are also catching up with the advanced world in African youth, we can also bring people who don't have any idea to start also from somewhere. Then we'll be bringing them in along. So I think some will be ahead of people, but we will always get the chance to bring people included in the conversation and topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Fifi. Do you want to respond, Chris, to that? What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Fifi, thank you very much for that thoughts. I agree totally with you. I agree totally with you. That's why you see, when I started the conversation, I said something. I said we need to identify our problems. Before you visit a doctor, you must first of all believe that you're actually not feeling fine before even going to the hospital. So we must first of all identify the problems, and how we're going to identify those problems is having this kind of conversations. That's why, for instance, whatever the work you do, you are the grassroots. You know these problems. You know how to categorize them. Okay, so we cannot all be on the same pace. It's not possible. Everybody must be on a very different level. Even in schools and everything, there are different classes where you categorize people. So first of all, we need to identify our problems. We need to accept that we have this problem. And what's that problem? Capacity building. Yes, we've identified that. Now, what exactly are we building? Which categories? What is it? People that do not know how to use devices? Is it people that want to construct robots? Is it people that want to control blockchains? What exactly? So once we're able to do this, and how do we do that? Is by each and every one of us taking that responsibility to say, yes, I want to contribute in this way. So thank you very much for that contribution of yours. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't know. You want to say?
Thank you so much. Very interesting conversation, actually. I wanted to say something quite interesting in this area is that I have an example where we have seen a rise of literacy not coming from a special entity going to teach people, but the interest raising from actually the audience. What is interesting here, like the cases in India, what they have managed to do is to widen the digital infrastructure. And what happened is we have seen a rise in digital literacy, in e-commerce, in mobile banking. So I believe uh, internet infrastructure is an engine that will motivate uh, the, the literacy to come also, and the pace when it comes to continuing with innovation. India now, if when we talk about innovation in ICT, there is definitely an engine at some point. So I believe in our different countries, when we will be able to implement sustainable infrastructure that are reaching all the different areas. Can it be the urban space or the rural areas? When we will reach all of them, they will definitely make use of the infrastructure they have it, and sometimes it's very interesting. They are very innovative, and use ways that we didn't even think were able to use. We have a case in many countries now that are sustainable infrastructure solutions that are known for profit, which we call community networks, whereby people around communities uh, get together and say we need internet, and we see it as a good, a force for good, and an enabler. We are a community of agriculture, but we see that the internet will be an enabler in us selling our local products. So they get together, they connect to a certain access point, because the internet, what is it? It's a network of networks. So they have already their own interpersonal network, but then they connect to the internet at a certain place, and now you see trade will be moving around the space. Quite interesting, and when you see the numbers, they get to do wonders with the access they've got to. So I think we need to build capacity in infrastructure that will help us go with the pace. One person was talking about, we have other priorities. In some countries, people are not able to feed themselves, and you see, internet connection costs almost like half of their salary or something. So if you are them, you need to pay school fees of your children or connect to the internet. What is the choice you're going to take? So access to connectivity is very important. And for us to make sure this access is easy, we need to have infrastructure all around. When we have infrastructure, it will be cheap, and people will be able to actually not only prioritizing, they will definitely prioritize the key aspect of their life, but they will balance. They know that we are moving with our natural challenges, but also we are not left behind as we are solving our different challenges in life. We are leveraging the ICT, we are leveraging the digital solutions so that we solve our challenges helped by the digital solutions. And that will be very helpful for us to move together. So that's what I wanted to bring to the table. Thank you.
All right. Matilda, you have something to say?
You know, like whatever involves capacity building, like I'm in love with it. So for the development to that, you know what I think? We do not even need, like, it's not like we need something like sustainable development. I think for my country particular, since since I am working very closely with the people in the rural areas, we need to localize infrastructural development. Because if you see in there, we are like what, using 5G already? 5G, eh? In I was in Singida just a I think less than 8 days ago. There's not even 2G there, and I'm supposed to teach those women capacity building. So we do these capacity buildings really at the urban areas. We do a lot, even in the rural areas. But then we go do the capacity buildings without the infrastructure for that capacity building. So if I have the 2G internet, and sometimes actually the 2G is until if I find, I did find a spot, climb on top of a tree or sit somewhere across around the mountain, to try to balance the signal, like frequency wave. So we need to localize this, the development. So the private sectors, the government, they really need to push their focus for the digital infrastructure development into the local areas, the rural areas. Speaking about it, you people, you think it's worse than even how I'm explaining. It's worse, I'm telling you. It's I don't know how, for my country, for Tanzania, it's worse, guys. I've been in Kigoma, Kasulu, where the sun is literally red. You just go there. I have white hair, by the way, so you can imagine with the dust how my hair was, with the 2G internet that not working, trying to teach these women. The women do not even have. And I went, for example, for Kigoma. These people, it was the women entrepreneurs. They were doing amazing job. Confidently, I'm telling you. perfect job. So we went there to give them the digital of capacity building, how to engage them to the digital marketing. Mind you, we want to engage them to the e-commerce. Mind you, these people do not have a smartphone, never even seen one, can't even write their names. The e-commerce also comes. You, oh my god. And guys, the situation is bad. What I just wanted to say at the point should just be like we should localize this development to the rural areas, localize the infrastructure, the digital infrastructures. Yeah, so we need this. And this is actually for this situation is actually different because I went there to teach the women entrepreneurs. But if I was doing for the women and men entrepreneurs, I'm pretty sure even the men will be facing the same challenge because it's something they don't know. Something is not there. It's like going. One day, a lady once asked me, "So you guys came here talking about dream, dream, dream. What is a dream to begin with?" Someone doesn't even know what is a dream to begin with. And then I'm about to tell this person, you know what? You can be a software engineer. You can do this. The division compact. It's just terrible. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you so much. So you can do, like, from this discussion that has been going on, so you can do digital, like, capacity building or digital literacy without having proper infrastructures. So it's really important to we make sure that we invest on proper infrastructures so we can ensure like everyone can get access to all these things. So before I get to see if there's any online contribution, I think there was one contribution back there. So I'll go to it and then I'll see online if I have a question or any contribution.
Okay, can you hear me all? Good morning. I'm Grace from Cameroon. I want to be more practical about what you have said because I'm a learner. I don't want to say that okay, I've understood everything, but I'm here to learn. So you mentioned something like identify your problem. Okay, I love technology. I want to learn more about it. I want to solve problem. I want to make money from technology. But how? How can I start? Where am I starting? So I think one of session like that is to help us to understand more what is all about technology and all the rest. So I would like to just have a small advice about it. Thank you very much.
You want to say? Okay. So I can have Chris respond to that, and then we can move to one on site, and then we can move online.
Okay, so that's, I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, my sister from Cameroon, for that question. I like going back to my analogy of the doctor. When you have an illness, you would have to make inquiries. Where is this doctor? Where can they treat this illness? Good. And one of them is what you have just done, asking questions of how. How can you start and all of that. I think just a little bit of linkage of what Fifi said. There are different levels. Everyone is not on the same level. And we are here as supposed experts, okay, there are still bigger experts and all of that. There are actually resources online where you can actually make those inquiries or how to or learn. For instance, if you want to go into, let me just use the case of blockchain. Someone might want to say, okay, I want to go into this blockchain. I want to actually know how beneficial it can be because blockchain is broad. Okay, it's come to solve problems that are existing. However, we're not using that blockchain to solve those problems. So you can now say, okay, you want to tap into that sector. So how can I now know more about blockchain? There are a lot of resources online. One of them I can link you to is the ITU Academy website. Yes, it has a whole lot of good resources where you can actually learn. There are some of the paid resources, some are actually free. Yeah, ITU, that's our International Telecommunication Union. Good, that's one of them. And also one of the very good place which we always go to, YouTube. YouTube is our friend. That's why I look at it. YouTube is our friend. I think you can virtually see almost everything in YouTube. But sometimes what I like saying, that's why I mentioned earlier about mentoring. Okay. My friend here from Ghana also said something about mentoring, which is you would actually put the person on the same path as you. Well, I disagree with him on that because, for instance, when we're all young, we needed parents to actually put us on a path. It doesn't mean we have to be the same like them, but you need someone to guide you on a path.
first of all. So okay, it's always good to attach yourself to a mentor. You don't have to be exactly as the mentor, but he's going to put you because he has gone through hurdles already. So he's going to put you through so that you don't go through the same hurdles as he or she has gone through. So that's why having a mentor is also key because they're going to put you through whatever you need, uh, direct you on the right path, and also direct you to where you can actually get these resources. So I hope I've been able to answer that for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. So take, if you can take 1 minute, if you can, and then I'll move online because we're out of time, and then we can close. Okay, so 1 minute, and then 1 minute from online, and then we close from with my panelists.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Razan Zakaria from Egypt. I'm a BIAG ambassador. I have a very important question about the internet justice and equality. Nowadays, we see that, especially in the countries that have wars, there's not people that can have an access to the internet to reach out their voices to the world and to connect around with the people around all the world. Who is the sector that have a right to manage, not control or prevent people to get access to the internet? So who the sectors have a right to manage this internet rights to the people in this society that have a word? This is my question.
Okay. Is there anyone who wants to respond? If you can respond in less than 1 minute, I'd appreciate.
Very good question, actually, Razan. What is pretty much interesting is that every aspect of life, the digital technologies are being influenced and can influence. Sometimes we are seeing currently, when you see people who are affected by war, uh, definitely people using ICT technologies as war tools, but also we are seeing humanitarians using digital technologies to solve these issues. So if we take technology, we don't have to take it in and frame it in an area, but we need to see it as a tool that you can use for good, and we advocate for the use of technology for good. It's like a knife. A doctor can use the knife to help operate and save a life, but someone else can use a knife to kill someone. You get the point. The knife is not the problem. The problem is the people. So I think technologies that are centered around the people are definitely the ethical one, and we need to use them in a sense that looking for what sense that is ethical, and that's the only way forward from my perspective. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Asana. So, allow me to move online first, and then I get to my last on site, and then we close. So, please, yeah, what if you can take 1 minute or less, that'd be nice. Yeah, thank you so much, Samila. Please, the floor is yours.
Good morning. My name is Rapitsun from Cambodia. So my question to the panelists from India. Can you elaborate more about the mechanism about that for the infrastructure sharing, especially for AI development, and how? Hello, do you hear?
Yes.
Okay. So how the developing country join the mechanism? For example, if you already have the mechanism in place for sharing the infrastructure. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Manajit, can you answer in like, have you, yeah, can you answer in like 1 minute or less?
Yes. Okay. To be the question, I'd like to share that since we are almost close by neighbors, Cambodia and India are not very far. We can certainly explore the collaboration aspects in not just the governmental side but also the private players. Will be interested to share the best practices, and particularly given the fact that Cambodia and India share very close relations, we do have a very friendly relations between us. Probably we can take this ahead, probably post session or something. I think there are multiple avenues that we can collaborate, and obviously given the fact that Cambodia and the relation with African, we all can be working together, at least disseminating I will say the skills and the best practices can always be explored at any point of time.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Manajit. I think you guys can link up after the session too, and then you can discuss further, right? So I would like to thank my panelists and, of course, the floor for participating in this session. And I would like my panelists with one word to close this. How does a fully digitally world look like to you in one word? Like a fully digitally developed world look like to you in one word? I don't know who is ready to start, but whoever is ready to start, just in one word. A fully digital world. Like, how does it look like to you?
For me, a fully digital world, it's about people who are connected and interconnected.
Connectivity. Okay.
For me, it's about empowerment and enablement.
Empowerment, enablement. Matilda?
Yeah. I actually wrote something here. So I'd love to leave you guys with these thoughts, which is the compute divide is a challenge. We all agreed, but also an opportunity. So it is an opportunity to rewrite the rules of digital engagement to ensure that computational power becomes a shared resource that uplifts all, and not that privilege not that privilege that deepens inequality.
I
So,
like that
thank you
word.
very much.
A lot of words. One word.
Short. While we live here, let's be the change that we seek to see. Yeah.
Change.
For me, it will be accessible.
Accessible.
That's what our government of India is also looking for, to make sure every resources available in the internet is accessible for everyone, irrespective of the distance. Like as I mentioned in my course, the far-flung area students are also getting everyone. So accessible should be that one word. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. I also like to thank my online participant. This was really amazing from the contribution that I received from the floor and online. Hope to see you around. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Yeah, my panelists, please, let's take a picture before we leave. Thank you. It's like,
Sorry.
yeah.